What's going on, YouTubers? My name is Robert Serrano Jr., Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to WWE NXT Review, the show from June 20th, 2018, and they were in Full Sail University. Well, actually, not Full Sail University. They were at Chicago, Illinois. Mauro Renaro, well, actually, he wasn't there, but it was Vic Joseph who was there. Nigel McGuinness and Percy Watson as your commentators, basically your 205 Live commentators, to commentate on an NXT show they were in Chicago after, from the whole thing from that took place from after Chicago, which by the way it was actually taped before the Chicago TakeOver show. So yeah, I want to get to on this show before I start botching a little more. So here we go. So the kickoff WWE NXT in Chicago, Illinois, from June 20th, 2018. You have Bianca Belair defeating Dakota Kai in a very good match. Namely because how Bianca Belair is showcasing how good she is, and Dakota Kai, she's very good too, by the way, folks. If you've never seen her work before outside of WWE, you're missing out. Dakota Kai can go. And sure, they gave her the storyline where she's she's being bullied and all that, but now she's overcoming that one when it comes to how they're developing Dakota Kai on NXT right now. But yeah, Dakota Kai was basically Bianca Belair was white hot with these crowds in Chicago. Not to say that that Dakota Kai wasn't being white hot either. She was also white hot too, but at the same time, they wanted Bianca Belair more. And sure enough, Bianca Belair was showcasing her strength in this match because they're doing the by press into the military press and all that. To showcase what she can do, as a strong woman. And then at one point she did the shotgun suplex. And then she did it again onto one rope, the other rope on the other rope, and then. But Dakota Kai escapes from it, and then in the end, Bianca Belair gets the win over her with the torch rack into the face buster and gets a 3 count in the win. So yeah, another unstoppable, impressive undefeated streak there for Bianca Belair on NXT. Even though on House Show she lost against Ember Moon, but still we're gonna ignore that though, right? But yeah, Bianca Belair is once again showcasing that she is NXT. She is the EST of NXT. She is the Fresh Princess of Belair because she's Bianca Belair. She is very gifted. She is very confident. She is very, very phenomenal in the ring. No point in there, the AJ Styles, but still, Bianca Belair is going places, folks. And hopefully she doesn't move up to the main roster pretty soon. Hope she stays on NXT. You know what I mean? Now, before we get to the next match, they did show some highlights because the NXT TakeOver Chicago 2 that basically involves with the whole thing with the Undisputed Era versus Ori Lawkins and Dane Burch for the NXT Tag Team Championship. They showed the whole thing with Shayna Baszler defending the NXT Women's Championship against Nikki Cross. They showed the whole thing with Ricochet versus the Velveteen Dream. They even showed the whole thing with Lars Sullivan versus Aleister Black for Aleister Black's NXT Championship, and then finally they showed one, which was the main event, and the show of NXT TakeOver Chicago 2 was the Chicago Street Fight between Johnny Gargano and versus Tommaso Ciampa. Good highlights, folks. I watched the highlights of it. And another thing, when it comes to the highlights, we all know how that bad botch was for the NXT Championship between Aleister Black and Lars Sullivan. But if you watch the highlights of the match, you will not even notice. You will not even remember that on the botch of that happening because they did I thought they did a very good job of editing the highlights of the conclusive of the NXT Championship match between Aleister Black and Lars Sullivan based on the botch that was made in that match. With the whole thing with Aleister Black missing the kick and then Lars Sullivan sold it. Jinder Mahal moment there. But yeah. If you don't watch the full match, watch the highlights of it. The highlights is more intriguing than the full match. I thought the highlights of it was very well done. But besides that, yeah, all the highlights of NXT TakeOver Chicago 2 was very good, especially when it comes to the interview afterwards too. When it comes to, of course, with the disappointment of Danny Burch and Orton Elkins that they didn't get the job done. And to be honest with you, folks, when they was talking about how they failed, they were let down, all that. I felt that pain. I'm not gonna pull in punches here, folks. I shed a little tear because I'm like, damn, man. They made me feel bad about them. I feel bad that Orton Elkins and Danny Burch did not win the match against Undisputed Era. I feel bad. I feel very bad for them. So, in a way, it kind of worked with these guys getting over as babyfaces on NXT, because they won me over. I mean, they always won me over, by the way, folks. They always has. But after this match that they had with Undisputed Era against, I should mention, it was I'm drawing a blank here. Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. There you go. Yeah, that was an incredible match, folks. And then in the end, unfortunately, Danny Burch and Orton Elkins came up short. But after the words, they talk about how they came up short and all that, and they were disappointed of the loss. I feel bad for them. I felt emotional that they didn't win the match. I felt like this was it for them. That there's no more opportunities for them. Like, damn, man, I feel bad. I really feel bad for those two. And then the whole thing with Shayna Baszler being interviewed with along with her friends, Jessica Mendux. I did how to say her name right. Jessica Mendux. I did how to say her name. And Roger Strong's own wife. I'll try to remember her name too. I always remember her name too, by the way. I just can't remember it now. Okay, I was having problems remembering Roger Strong and Kyle O'Reilly earlier. Damn. Yeah, I can't remember. Marina Shafar, Jessica and the Dukes were there with Shayna Baszler as she was being interviewed. Now I remember that name. Man, it was hard for me, folks. It was hard for me. Yeah, but basically, yeah. And then some other things like Aleister Black refusing to be interviewed because the battle he had with Lars Sullivan was tough for him, that he couldn't even talk. To be honest with you, folks, I'm kind of glad he didn't talk, because Aleister Black's I'm not used to Aleister Black because of his character to be a talker. I want him just to be a silent badass ass kicker. Trying to remember if there was anything else. But yeah, the Velveteen Dream talks about, dream over for him, whatever that means. And then Ricochet talks about how he actually called a good promo about how he saying how the Velveteen Dream could do anything better than Ricochet and all that, and then he showed that he could beat the Dream, and show that the Velveteen Dream can be better than him and all that, and then it says that he's the one and only Ricochet. So there you go. All right, main event time. We get the War Raiders, Rowan Hansen versus the Mighty, which is Shane Miller and Shane Dorn and Nick Miller. Excuse me. So they had another tag team match, and it was pretty good. Pretty good tag team match, back and forth action between the two. Yeah, the Mighty was basically giving it to the War Raiders. War Raiders is not always the type of wrestlers to be handled like that. But the Mighties, they end up taking it to the War Raiders. But in the end, it didn't matter because the War Raiders still won the match. But yeah, the War Raiders, once again, yeah, they showed their war path of destruction, and yeah, they're gonna kick ass in the NXT Tag Team division, folks. And as far as the Mighty, well, I'll say this one thing: they're not called TM61 anymore. Now they're just called the Mighty. Yeah, so the Mighty, we'll see where they go from here now. And that's all I gotta say from them. Total amount wrestling for NXT, which was NXT after TakeOver Chicago 2. Not really, but you know what I mean. But yeah, Total amount wrestling, 2 matches. because the rest of the matches, the rest of the show was all about highlights about what happened about TakeOver Chicago 2. And my overall show rating for the show, I'm gonna go 7.5 out of 10, 7.5. So there you go, folks. That was NXT for you, and yeah, NXT review was a success for June 20th, 2018. If this is your first time watching me, my name is Robert Serrano Jr. Natural Born Driller. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and take a shot with the Natural Born Driller. And also, if you like what I'm doing, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like what I'm doing, give it a thumbs down. Either way, it's up to you. Your opinion matters, and no one else's opinions matter. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. You all take care. You have a good night. Peace on the streets from the Natural Born Driller. Take care, folks.